I mean, it wasn't like I do it.
What time is it?
I know, right?
It's not like
It's
your
this.
thing, it's just.
Little crazy, zany stories. This one you do a lot of that. I think it's special, this one. And they keep it straight, so, like, I should use like, all the things, and stuff, and cheers, like. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to,
Yeah, I was originally doing this on but I was just waiting for
I was supposed to go to, some kind of radio, but it was called, 4:30 or 5 or something like that. I had to get the gas here, so I'm gonna try to see if this last year. But then, when I get there,
Every time I take the time, I'm like, why are you so messy?
you know what I mean?
Like, girl.
They were there, 'cause, you know, not when the post office, you got or the apartment.
It's like, Cardi B. No, actually, she's not at all. Let's take that photo. Take that immediately back. Yes.
Buckingham, in February.
You were in this since February?
I mean, of course, I passed by it. It's on a TV, but.
Doing a great job.
You're doing a great third job.
You know, that was the MLK, that was the MLK day.
Jay.
It was the day.
Jay.
MLK.
There's all these weird.
You know what?
Jamie,
I never heard- I never heard,
Jennifer, Joy.
Yes.
But for you,
We're the
Jen,
DJs.
Jamie, Jay, Joy,
Then the bad thing is, like.
Well, Nina was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt was here, but,
So I'm so sick of the damn ball. So, he got it.
Okay. That's weird.
Really?
We're not even recording, I say why,
But I mean, not
recording.
recording, then I had to cover up, like, cause it's hard.
I didn't realize that was our camera, and I was like,
But he doesn't want to.
She was immediately annoyed, and so she
I was
got
like,
out.
oh no, then when I found out it was you, I was like, oh, more. No, elevated. Oh, we're doing both.
Yeah, I'm recording. What do you, anything?
To expand on.
Yes. And I went over to, and we discussed the background, we could put these TV up, chairs, and then for our, what's it called, lots, what is it called? Potlatch. Not even a tree, what do you call it? Yeah. What is it, okay. We have a good all set up, and then once a week. Special Christmas event, talking about very specific details. Traffic, sheriff sitting there talk, all candid, you know what I mean? We have a, and then, of course, we know who's gonna be the guest. Like on Tuesday, so you have questions from the sheriff. You can put it on our Facebook or something, send us some questions if you
so many people.
inquired about certain aspects. And then you get those questions. Give it to you, ready for to Chief Judge Sheriff what he's okay to answer. And then we'll ask those questions. Questions from outside of Belgium.
Normally, I do not publicly respond to lawsuits that are filed against the sheriff's department. You know, we get sued a lot. Attorneys like to sue government and thinking they're going to get money and we're going to settle. We usually do not settle our lawsuits when we're in the right. Unfortunately, when lawsuits are filed by attorneys, they fill them sometimes with lots of false allegations. They can put anything in this lawsuit that they want. Doesn't have to be backed up by facts. We deal in facts. But these attorneys will file a lawsuit and they will put all types of misinformation in there. And then they send it to the media so that it's made public. For a couple reasons. One is to get free publicity. They don't have to buy a commercial on TV or take a billboard out. They're able to get free publicity by filing a lawsuit and let the media know about it. But then they also want to incite the public. They want to make all these allegations that deputies have done something just totally horrendous and stir up the emotions of the community by saying these falsehoods about deputies. So usually we wait, we go to court. That's where it's handled. That's where it needs to be handled, is in court. Not the court of public opinion, but in the courtroom where it's supposed to be done. So usually we don't respond to that, but recently we had one back in March where an attorney got up and just made some of the most outlandish accusations on one of our investigators. And I feel like that it's time for me to stand up here and just say what things really are. If you throw rocks at us, don't expect me to sit back and take it. My job is to hold these deputies and myself and this department accountable, make sure that we do the right thing and hold them accountable. But it's also my job to take up for them and stand strong for them when they're right. I am not going to let somebody publicly defame and try to destroy one of my people when they've done absolutely nothing wrong. So back in March, the attorney had a press conference concerning a sexual predator, someone we had arrested 2 years ago for molesting female family members. This came to our attention because the young victims, finally had, guts enough or had enough that they came forward. And they were forensically interviewed, or they described what had been happening to them over a period of time, not once, but numerous times over a period of time. The sexual abuse that they had been subjected to. They came to us. And this individual you see right here was arrested. He was arrested based on the interviews and the information that the victims had given us. If you look at the criminal warrants that were issued against him, that a magistrate issued, a magistrate found probable cause, it had to do with the information from the victims. Never mentioned anything about a confession in the affidavits for the warrants. But this attorney a month ago, and this is the headlines that read, "Man spends 2 years in jail on fabricated confession." Lawsuit filed against my investigator, Dina Levine, all about how she lied and coerced someone into giving a false confession and that she should be terminated, that she should be fired, and an investigation of all of her closed and active cases, that I should terminate her immediately, and a large investigation by U.S. Attorney's Office and SLED in her cases. Just on and on and on, making accusations that this poor man has spent 2 years in jail based on her framing him. Didn't say nothing about the poor victims, these young girls who have been molested by him. And I'm going to apologize to them right now. I want to apologize for them for having to suffer the abuse that they did for so many years. I'm sorry that that happened to them. But I am not going to apologize to anybody for us doing our job in arresting someone that needed to be arrested because of what he did to these victims who came forward and told us about it. But this lawsuit goes on about how this man just on and adamantly denied his accusations against him, that he never confessed, and that it was done in Spanish. Our investigator, Dean Levine, very fluent in Spanish, so his rights were given to him in Spanish. He understood his rights in Spanish, and when he was interrogated, it had to do with Spanish. So when he was asked, after he was given his rights, he described one occasion that exposed his penis in her presence while he was masturbating. And he was asked, did he engage in similar behavior with another person? His response was, I don't think so, because I was told that if you do it again, the alarms will go off. Then he was asked again about the allegations. Not that I remember, no, not to my recollection. I don't remember taking her clothes off, no. And then when he was asked if it's possible that he did it more than one time, this was his response. Watch his head. Watch his head. He's not going, no. His head is going up and down. And his response was, it's possible that it happened more than once. Now, those are the facts. Those are the truth. That is not a false allegation that somebody can stand up in front of some TV cameras and make. This is what's on video. This is the proof that we had. This was the case that we put together, and he was arrested for it. But to take and accuse my investigator of taking the scales of justice and putting her thumb on it, she didn't do that. But what this attorney did, he took the scales of justice and he just knocked it completely off the table with his false allegations against this department and against my investigator. My investigator did her job. She did it well. She took up for the victim, and that's what this system is supposed to be, is that we're for the victims. The man whose picture you saw earlier, he's not a victim. It's these young girls that he molested are the victims. Now, we're ready to go to court today. We can go to court today on the criminal charges. We can go to court today on our counter lawsuit. So not only am I standing here saying that that attorney did not tell the truth in his allegations against us, we filed a counter lawsuit against them. It is time that those who are out here that think that they can file false stuff on us, they're going to be held accountable too. So our attorneys have filed a counter lawsuit. We're going to go to court where the truth is going to come out. Not what you can put on a piece of paper and make it up with no basis to it and try to get sympathy for a child molester. There's a special place in hell for child molesters. Special place. And there's a higher power that'll take care of stuff like this. So, God don't like people who molest kids. That's plain and simple. Questions? Go ahead.
Why were the charges dropped against him?
The solicitor's office decided to do it, and I think based on his condition, his medical condition. You'll have to ask them. We're ready to go today. We have plenty of evidence to prosecute this case, and very confident that a jury will find him guilty. So our job, our responsibility is to do the investigation, make the arrest, then it's up to somebody else to do the prosecution. So I welcome any prosecutor who wants to take this case and go with it. We're ready to go.
There was a separate case that the Shealy Law Firm was pursuing against the same detective. It was a stand your ground case. I know this is related to the Mina case, but it had similar accusations against the detective. Was that something you also wanted to respond to?
This is the only one that I know about that he's filed on this one. This is one I'm addressing today. We're dealing with these facts. All right, thank y'all.
Jen, I see the quotes are.
Yes, I was just about to come over there and ask, about the quotes.
Are you able to send us the video that was shown, like,